These are the saffron fields of Pampore town in South Kashmir. The town, which is just 14 kilometers from the capital city Srinagar, nurtures the top quality saffron of the world, and most of the families in the area are involved in its cultivation on thousands of hectares. As per the rough estimates, nearly 30,000 families in Pampore are associated with saffron cultivation, and the saffron grown in the town is considered as the superior quality due to high medicinal values. But the decline in its production since a few years is forcing these families to sell their land for a meagre amount. Some of them even switch to alternate farming permanently. The farmers are also apprehensive that the low quality Iranian saffron may take over the world market if nothing substantial is done in this regard. The farmers blame drought conditions and poor irrigation facilities provided by the government for decline in its production. However, experts highlighted different reasons for the fall off and blamed farmers for not adopting the scientific advances in the farming following the drastic climatic conditions over the years. Here, look at our ground report.
The decline in saffron production is due to drought. Government started saffron mission, which has been unsuccessful. The deep bore wells too remained unsuccessful. Earlier, corns were sown by ploughing using pull-driven ploughshares, but now we till land by machines, which resulted in hardening of soil and corns remain loosely attached to soil. The moisture content also decreases by each passing year. I grew saffron on 25 canals. This year, I face 70% decline in production. I think this is due to drought. It would rain in August, but for past 4 years, rains don't occur, which causes decline. Pipes laid by the government for irrigation also create hindrance in ploughing. It was better to have drainage system of irrigation.
लगभग आसन जमीनस 50 कनाल वाड़ आज गो लगभग 6-7 नोकसान 3 नेरान बराबर की ये असल गंडा तेल नेरान वो 7 गए नोकसान
At क्या वजह से
at वजह ये कि ये गो ये टाक करन जिस ये बारिश पेन कह चीज पेन यह अगस्तस मज रूद पेवान ये बोट तो सह फसल बना बे वरी ये वम 2-3 वरी रूद पेन 4 वरी फसल गो वरी पत वरी कम
गवर्नमेंट मिशन पत गयो पत पाइप वाइप त्राय
ये रूद न कामयाब की ये रूद ये क्या फुड़ा यह जमीन मज अगर ड्रेन कर अम खोतम फी जमींदार त्राह साग आटा मज बेहतर पकह बोट इस नम पाइप रोज यह रूद जमींदार सठा मुश्किल कि धान लागान नम आठ वायान वल यह रूद न कामयाब कह अलबत् रोजान ड्रेन रोजान अत कामयाब यह गो सोरे नाकाम जोन सत खना आज खना टिर्रो सत वो टिर्रो सत वो हेक्ति जोन सत खना वो टिलर लागान पत खना अल्फा तो शहरावान तो पकान.
Saffron is called king of spices in whole of world because of its medicinal values and uses in different religious occasions. But in Pampore, in south of Kashmir, people associated with it, including farmers and businessmen, are struggling to meet their demands. I have come here to talk to a businessman called Muhammad Yunus. He will tell us how he struggles and what is the status of this spice in Kashmir. तो आप अपना बताइए क्या बिजनेस अभी कैसा चल रहा है आपका?
बिजनेस अभी बहुत कम चल रहा है. पिछले 3 सालों से मतलब बहुत अच्छा बिजनेस चल रहा था, लेकिन इस साल बहुत कम चल रहा है क्योंकि कोरोना की वजह से. और इस साल माशाल्लाह 3 साल के बाद केसर बहुत अच्छा निकल रहा है, क्योंकि जो 3 साल में प्रॉब्लम था वो हमारा मतलब खुद फर्टिलाइजेशन हम खुद नहीं कर रहे थे ठीक तरीके से, कि इस साल हमने खुद अपने हिसाब से किया है ज़मींदारी, तो माशाल्लाह बहुत केसर अच्छा निकला है इस साल.
تو جو 3 سال سے آپ بول رہے ہو اس سے پہلے جو یہاں پہ آپ اسٹرگل کر رہے تھے, یہاں پہ پانی کی قلت تھی, تو وہ ابھی دور ہو رہی ہے کیا؟
ہاں وہ دھیرے دھیرے دور ہو رہی ہے, کیونکہ پچھلے 3 سال سے ہم فرٹیلائزر اچھی طرح سے نہیں کھودتے تھے, مطلب جیسے زمینداری کر رہے تھے ویسے نہیں کر رہے تھے ہم لوگ. مطلب باہر سے جو آتے تھے کھودنے کے لیے ان کو پتہ ہی نہیں تھا, انجان آدمی کھود رہے تھے, اس کی وجہ سے بہت کم نکل رہے ہیں. کیونکہ 3 سال کے بعد آج پہلی بار اچھا نکل رہا ہے. ہم جیسے مطلب پہلے کھودتے تھے بہت کیسر اچھا نکلتے تھے, اس کے بعد ہم ڈیوائڈ کرتے تھے اس کو. ہمارا مطلب جہاں یہ بائی گفٹ آیا جس کے تھرو آیا تھا ہم وہاں لیتے تھے کیسر بھی, وہاں بھی چھوڑتے تھے 1-2 تولہ ہر سال میں. تو 3 سال سے ہم نے کسی نے نہیں چھوڑا ہے وہاں پر, اس کی وجہ سے بہت قلت آ رہی تھی. تو اس سال بہت ماشاءاللہ ٹھیک نکل رہا ہے.
اچھا, جو گورنمنٹ نے یہاں مشن شروع کیا اس کے تھرو ایک اریگیشن کی فیسلٹی, وہ کیا ملی لوگوں کو؟
نہیں مل رہی ہے, پورا طریقے سے نہیں مل رہا ہے. اگر وہ پورا طریقے سے ملا ہوتا تو شاید کیسر اس سال بھی بہت اچھا سب سے زیادہ ہوتا. 3 سال سے جن لوگوں نے جو کیا ہے کام لیکن وہ ٹھیک سے نہیں کیا, اس کی وجہ سے بہت نقصان ہو رہا ہے.
تو آپ بزنس میں ہیں, آپ بیچتے بھی ہے,
جی.
تو کیسا ابھی اس کا ریسپانس ہے؟ آپ وہ ڈیمانڈ جو ہے باہر پوری کر پاتے ہیں لوگوں کی؟
پوری کر پاتے ہیں لیکن بہت کم کرواتے. جیسے ہم پہلے کرواتے تھے دن میں آدھا کے جی بھی کیسے نکالتے تھے, مطلب بیچتے تھے ہم. آج اتنا نہیں نکلتا ہے کیونکہ آج کم سے کم یہ ہے 10 گرام 20 گرام ہر کوئی کسٹمر مانگ رہا ہے. لیکن اس کا جو فرٹیلائزنگ ہے وہ اس پہ ڈپینڈ ہو گیا تھوڑا.
تو آپ نے کافی سالوں سے اس کے ساتھ آپ کام کر رہے ہیں, تو اس کا کیا میڈیسنل ویلیو ہے, کیا کیا فائدے ہیں
اس میں بہت سارے فائدے ہیں. 17 ابو اس کا فائدہ ہے. پہلے فائدہ اگر اس کو کھائیں گے شام کو دودھ میں ڈالیں گے صبح سویرے, یہ باڈی ٹیمپریچر کے لیے اچھا ہے, سکن کینسر کے لیے اچھا ہے, ٹیومر کے لیے اچھا ہے, کمر پین کے لیے اچھا ہے, جوائنٹ پین کے لیے اچھا ہے, شوگر کے لیے استعمال ہوتا ہے. اگر پانی کے ساتھ کھائیں گے تو یہ اس میں بھی فائدہ دیتا ہے.
تو کتنے آپ کے پاس ابھی آ رہے ہیں لوگ یہ کیسر لینے باہر سے, ٹورسٹ آتا ہے؟
اتنا نہیں آتا ہے, 100 میں سے 5-10% آتا ہے, اتنا نہیں آتا ہے ہمارے پاس. لیکن یہاں کے لوگ بھی بہت دور سے آتے ہیں جن کے پاس نہیں نکلتا ہے, مطلب ڈسٹرکٹ خالی پلوامہ میں نکلتا ہے, اس کے بعد دوسرے ڈسٹرکٹ سے آتے ہیں ہمارے پاس لینے کے لیے. ان لوگوں نے بھی یوز کیا, نہیں اس کا بہت ویلیو ہے.
تو آپ کیا کہنا چاہیں گے لوگوں کو اس کی جو کھیتی کرتے ہیں؟
میں لوگوں کو یہی کہنا چاہتا ہوں اس کی کھیت باڑی اچھی طریقے سے کر لو, جیسے پہلے کرتے تھے ہمارے بزرگ لوگ, مطلب کھودتے تھے. آج انجانا آدمی اس میں کھودنے کے لیے جاتا ہے, وہ اس کا روٹس بھی کاٹتا ہے اور روٹ بگاڑتا ہے, اس کی وجہ سے اس کی قلت ہوتی رہی ہے.
گورنمنٹ کو کیا کہیں گے؟
ہم گورنمنٹ کو یہی کہنا چاہتے ہیں بس ہماری جس طرح سے اس کو مدد چاہیے, جس ٹائم پانی چاہیے اس ٹائم ملنا چاہیے ہم کو اس کا پانی. کیونکہ اگر 1 مہینے پہلے پانی ملا ہوتا ہے اس کو, شاید اس بار بھی پرانی لوگوں کی طرف کیسے نکل جاتا تھا.
I'm joined by a senior scientist who's working on saffron, Dr. Bashir A. Alahi. I'll ask him what issues farmers are facing these days in Pampore area.
Farmers presently they are facing one biggest issue that we have presently around 3,715 hectares of land under saffron. And we claim that Kashmiri saffron, Indian saffron is quality-wise better. But one thing, the saffron fields which at present in our valley, the optimum plant population in farmers field, that is not optimum, because from last several years, because of climatic changing pattern, they have lost most of their corms from their fields because of their mismanagement, misagronomic management, and because they are not attending regularly their fields, and because of rodent attacks, disease management, they have less population at their respective fields. And one most important thing, that when we say that for normal saffron we need optimum plant population of 5 lakh corms per hectare, that gives yield around 4 to 5 kgs per hectare. And in when we go for high density, if farmers they are going for high density, they need to plant 4 to 5 quintals of seed, which comes around 10 to 12 lakh kgs per hectare, and they can harvest a yield of around 8 to 10 kgs. But if we see at present scenario of our fields, the plant population, our saffron fields, that is around 2 lakh to 3 lakh kgs per hectare. That is why they are harvesting only 1 to 2, or even fields when there is optimum population, they are harvesting good yield around 5 kgs per hectare. And second most important thing is they are lacking the moisture content that is a need of the hour at present in saffron cultivation. We recommend that in the month of August, around 20th of August onwards, they need one important irrigation. If rains are not there, they should irrigate. First irrigation at critical stage, and they can harvest, because this is the time when there is root initiation stage, and in coming days they harvest good crop of saffron if there is moisture present in the month of August or in first week of September. And in the month of after 15th of November, again, if moisture is less, they can irrigate again their fields, so that they can harvest a good calm yield in future course of time.
We spoke to different farmers. Their take about the less production was the failure of these irrigation facility given by government. How do you react to that?
Actually, if we see the present scenario, around 120 bore wells are to be dug out for those irrigation facilities to be provided for the farmers, but only few are working at present, and the number exactly is around 50 bore wells they are working. And during this cropping season, they have irrigated fields, and we have shown what time of exactly they can apply the water in their fields. The exact time, critical time for application of water is August. But during current season they have initiated, but they have not applied the moisture at right point of time. That is why farmers, they are again facing the problem. If they irrigate their fields at right time, they can harvest a good yield of saffron.
Since there's a climate change, you also told us about the climate changes. But the farmer, you are in research. The farmers, what will you tell the farmer? How can they make the yield better this next year maybe?
One thing is very important. At this point of time, after 15th of November, if there's good spell of rains or snowfall, definitely that will have good impact on the saffron for next cropping season. And you have observed during this course of time, current cropping season, during the month of October, the day temperature that was around 25 degree centigrade, and that is not good for saffron. We have observed that the day temperature that is required for saffron, it should be around 20 to 22 for its flowering. And if now in the month of November we have observed there is dip of temperature that is around again 17-18 degrees. That is what we see that is required for saffron, and during this period of time they are harvesting good flush of flowers because there is dip in temperature. If the temperature would have been same in the month of October, they have harvested good flush also in the month of October. But because the temperature in the month of October was around 25th, that was much higher, around 2 to 3 degrees higher than the normal temperature. This was the reason the cropping season, the flowering period was a little bit late.
Since you are working on different research and you run joint projects with agriculture department and the farmers, what would be your recommendations, suggestions to government and to the the farmers so that we have a good production next year of the saffron?
The important factor, what the present area under saffron in Kashmir is. First and most important thing in saffron fields that we need, that there should be optimum plant population. That is the most important thing, because farmers, what we have observed, they are irrigating their fields without planting material. What they will expect from their fields? If the plant population is not optimum, they cannot harvest a good yield. Some fields, they are barren, they are not having optimum plant population. So I request all farmers, saffron farmers, they should first maintain the optimum plant population in their respective fields, then go for interculture operation at right time, then irrigate, then nutrient management. Nutrient management is also important, because most of the farmers, they are applying only urea. They should apply right dose of nutrients in their fields, and then they should go for irrigation of saffron fields. They can expect a good yield if they can do. They can go for these practices in their saffron fields. They harvest a good saffron from their fields.
Can you tell us about your new research which you are doing on saffron, helping farmers and the government to have the good production?
We have now working on different lines, because our honorable vice chancellor, they are directed us that farmers, saffron farmers, they should economically sound, because farmers, they claim that they are not harvesting good yields. So we have now recommended that we should go for saffron that should be intercropped with kala zira, because both the crops, they are underground crops and their planting time is same. And if we plant saffron with kala zira, then we can also accommodate almond trees. They can give a good shading effect that is required in saffron. If this practice practice will be adopted by farmers, they can not only double but triple their income. And one more point that we are working, that is indoor saffron cultivation, and we have observed that if we erect one structure of 20 by 20 feet, and we can accommodate 360 around trays with the multi-tier system, we can harvest 1.5 to 2 kg of saffron from that 20 by 20 square feet structure. And the quality of saffron is as good as which we receive in the fields. And this is the technology, this saffron indoor cultivation, particularly for those farmers which have less holding size of land, or those farmers which are landless farmers. They can adopt this technology and they can grow this saffron at their respective places.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, so nice of you.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.